Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Wednesday, October the 22nd. My name is Barry Enerson. I'm the moderator of the trading room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. Well, let's take a look at the SPY first, and the SPY has been on a bit of a roller coaster today. Here's the open right here. We had a bit of a down at the open. Pop back up, down below. The red line is where it closed yesterday. So down below the close, and then up, down, and then looked like it was going to steadily move up. And on this time, though, we had a steep decline in all the indices, including the SPY, and all the way down here, a little bit of a pullback or pull up, and still the trend is down. The market still has another 50 minutes or so, so does not look like it's going to end up in positive territory today. Well, a number of trades to go over today, and let's see, Amgen is the first one. Amgen turned out to be a pretty nice trade and an early trade for me. Again, these are actually I'm on a 3-minute chart. What am I doing there? Let's get to a 5-minute chart. That's why my arrows were off. Let me go back to 3-minute for here. Okay, you can see why I got into Amgen. This was on a pullback or a stock that was beaten up, and we're looking at Biogen early also, and you can see here's where Biogen closed yesterday, and you can see it had like just a horrific day. Down, it is still down 17, but at one point it was, down a lot more than that, probably another 34 or not another 34, but probably another $14, $15 or so. So, well, actually 20, because right now the low is 290 and we're at 310. So it was down another $20 at one point. And so we were looking at I was trying, of course, to catch the bounce here, but the spread was really bad here. Yes, it looks like, oh well, why don't you just take it here? I think the spread was about $2 or so. Very difficult to time it. A couple of times it looked like it was going to bounce right here, and but you can see it had a little bit of an upturn, and then it slid down. So it's pretty dicey. So even when you saw that, is it a fake or not? This one, yeah, I mean, looks like you could have taken it at 296, but it was just tough. But what I decided to do was to watch Amgen and Amgen in sympathy, another bio. And this one, at least the spread was not bad, and it was actually hanging right at this 142 mark. I mean, when I looked at it for probably 5 or 6 minutes, the bid was actually 143.99. Offer was 142, which is great, of course, for a $142 stock, a penny spread. So I actually took it at 142 after a number of moments there. I was going to put my stop in at 141.63, basically the low of the day. And well, the next candle, again, these are 3-minute candles. I'm going to get back to 5 minutes, but zoomed up, got out half at 142.75. Watch it get all the way almost back up to yesterday's close. And then as it came back down, I took out the other half at 143.02. So a little over $1 on the second half. So a great early trade for me. I don't trade a lot actually before 10 o'clock, believe it or not. So, to get in a trade like this before 10 o'clock was great. The next one was Hawaiian Airlines. Now, we had some news. Let me just get to the 5-minute chart, see if that, I think maybe that will do it. Not sure. I'm just trying to line up these little entry arrows and exit arrows a little bit better. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay. Now, there was some news earlier today. There was, I think, an airliner was diverted to Frankfurt or from Frankfurt. I'm not exactly sure. And so, all of a sudden you're wondering about the airlines, but this one was strong still. And so I decided to take the trade at 1608 right here on this little consolidation. It looked like it was going to break out, but it didn't. And also at this point, the market was, remember how the SPY was going up? The SPY was going up here, and this was not following suit. So, over about a 10-minute period, it just did nothing. So I decided to exit the trade as it showed any sort of weakness. And so I exited for a 5-cent loss at 1603. Now, the next one turned out to be really good. It's a bit of a scary trade. This obviously had some, some tremendous pre-market news. This one is still up $7.38, but at one point it was up 18, so another $4 or so. And this is all the pre-market action. And here's where it opened, and it started to slide in the pre-market, got all the way down here. A little bit of consolidation area here, and I was watching this, and I'm sure a lot of people were watching this, and I ended up taking the trade at 13.55. Let me just expand this a little bit so we can see this a little bit better. Took the trade right here, a little bit, no, sorry, right here on this break. Took it at right here at 13.55. Got rid of half at 14.05, and obviously a little bit premature, and then the other half at 14.61, and it actually got up to 15.35, and I was kicking myself at that point, but then it pulled back immediately on that. This is a 5 minute candle now, so it pulled back immediately on that 5 minute candle, and it is just kind of meandered a little bit. Though it's kind of this is a big range, but I have to see what happens with this one tomorrow because obviously there's some news. I don't know what the news was, but I have to see what happens with this one tomorrow. The next one was ALB. ALB gave me a little bit of a yeah, here we go. So this was on again, on the bounce alerts. Here's where it was bounce. It was coming down, all these red candles down. Finally got a green candle. Took the trade right here at 15.61. Hard to see. These are two exits, one at 55.87, and then on the way back down at 55.84. So nothing spectacular, but the market was going down, and but I decided this pattern looked pretty good. I was going to put my stop in at 15.52. The bottom of that candle, so a nice tight stop, a 9 cent stop, and it's so good risk reward definitely on this one. And the last one is Zaza. Good. I'm glad I got out. Now this was a high flyer. You can see it hit 577, and actually Paul mentioned it in the room right around this area here. And so I decided to take the trade at. I have to expand this just a little bit so you can see a little more clearly. There we go. Took the trade right here at 436. These arrows are just a little bit off. Sorry, at 436. But the spread at times was 10 cents, which is terrible for a $4 stock. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the stock had traded. 2.9 million, so it wasn't thin really, but for whatever reason, it was really a bad spread. So, I took 10 cents immediately on this, which isn't bad, for a $4 stock. And then I got out again at 443. So 446 and 443 were my exits, and mainly because the spread was just terrible. I mean, at this point, it looked like it was going to move higher, but the spread was just really, really bad. And the market is just kind of it's not great right now. Let's see what the SPY is doing. Again, we've got about, yeah, see, it's starting to fall a little bit. So there's no way that we get back into positive territory unless something dramatic happens. Now, we had an unfortunate shooting in Canada, at the Parliament buildings. One soldier is dead, and the gunman is dead, but there's reports that there are at least one other gunman on the loose. So I don't really know if that spooked the market. To be honest, I don't know Canadian what happens in Canada really will affect this market, but certainly not good news for Canada. But have to see what happens there. So that's it for today. Let me just bring back the cover page. This is how you get into the room, and I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow.